Hello everybody, welcome to the Pistrano Show. I apologize that I have not done a video here as of late. I've been a little bit under the weather. So with that, I have a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to review Trx4m stuff and news. And we're going to review some new Scx6 stuff. Show you where we're at there. I think I'll start with the Trx4m. How about that? All right. So I'm going to show you where my Trx4m is at. So you can see big green with envy is in pieces. Obviously, this is not from a crash or anything like that. I had to take this apart because I had a failure with my Furatech ESC. It's the first issue I've had with Furatech, so I'm going to cut them a break. I'm not sure exactly what happened. But I was testing it here on the bench and I started hearing some noises which sounded exactly like a mesh problem, like the pinion would slip every once in a while. So I took the transmission apart, put all new bearings in it, cleaned it out, put all different grease in it. Everything looked fine, so I was surprised. I put it back together. It's still smooth as silk. So then I ran it outside of the vehicle with the motor on it, and it still did the exact same thing. And what it was like a cutout, like it would run and then glitch and then run and glitch and run. I hope that's a good explanation for you. But it was jerking. Every time it did that, it would jerk. So for crawling at low speeds, that jerk is destroys your possibilities of winning or doing any good. So I changed all the wires on it, put all new, ESC wires on it. All new battery wires, changed the battery. I did everything to eliminate each component. And what I came down to was the last thing I did was swap the motor. So I had a seeder on it, and that's what was doing the issue. And I would have swore it was a motor issue. I didn't know that an ESC could do what it was doing. But when I put the micro kimono on there, it did the exact same thing. So by process of elimination, that left the ESC. So I pulled out the ESC. I sent it back. I've got a new one coming. It should be here this week. So hopefully we'll get Green with Envy back together and ready to go crawling on Saturday. I got plans for Saturday to go back out to the wall and try out the changes I made before I found this issue. One being I removed the extra weight in the wheels, so there's more grip now. I also added trail extensions, weighted extensions, which before I had the smaller ramp crab, but I need the more weight since I had to remove the weight out of the wheels. So that's where this is at. We're in a lot of pieces, waiting on the electronics to show back up, and once it shows up, we will get this thing back together and ready to go, hopefully by Saturday. So I also have some news. Let me see if I can get to this stuff. That's what I have so far. I ordered everything I needed for the Alumiripper. And this is what I got so far. I've got a ton more stuff coming, but obviously going to be running Swamp Kings. Going to be running the Pro line inserts. The wheels are going to be Injora orange with the orange beadlock. It's a little bit different beadlock, but same color. So orange wheels to match my orange chassis. I also have some Maz Designs titanium beadlock rings. I bought these just in case I went with Trill type Bs, but I think I'm going to stick with the Injoras just for the color factor. I mean, quality-wise, they're the same, so I'm going to go that route. Transmission, I'm going with Trill again, but this is the brass one. This is the heavy one. So I've never used a brass transmission, so cool, why not, right? My favorite links in the world, the Mias brass round links. I love these. I've got them on, I had them on all my trucks. Now they're still on the Green Ripper. Now they're going to be on the Alumiripper. The Hot Racing drive shafts, I had decent luck with them, so I'm going to try them. And plus, I ordered a set of GPMs, but they're going to take a while to get here. So I'm going to put these on and run them. And if I don't like them, I'll put the GPMs on when they get here. If not, I'll keep them. They're small. I like that they're small, skinnier, don't take up a lot of room, don't hit anything. It makes clearance a lot better. So that's why we're going with those. I've got the Trill extended brass extenders. Now I went with these because I'm going with, and this is going to be surprising to a lot of you, but I'm going with Trill portals. The reason being is because they're wider and I like the look and I like the way they perform. Now I've got Mias portals in Green with Envy, but the Alumiripper is going to have Trill. So, just FYI. Then I got the brass diff covers and the Mias low range gears. So the crawler gears from Mias. I haven't had an issue with them yet, so I'm going to keep going with those. That's what I have so far. Like I said, I've got Trill portals coming, Trill transmission plate in brass. Nex shocks. So it'll be the first time I'm using Nex shocks. Those are the ones that have the functional reservoirs. So that'll be cool. That's something new. Electronics, I'm using the Python Pro and the Cedar motor. So those two will be set up. I'm also using the, and I might have to order one, I don't know. I gotta check. But I'm going to be using, obviously, the Radio Link receiver, probably the 6-channel, which I use on all the Rippers. And I think that covers most of it. I still have orange spacers and I still have orange standoffs. So all those will be orange. Wheels and beadlock rings will be orange, and then the frame will be orange. I got the silver panels, and my portals are going to be silver. Other than that, pretty much everything's going to be brass. So, and this is weird. This is going to look weird, but I don't care. I had to buy them. I got NSDRC RS100 M's. Sorry, there's somebody at the door and the dogs are going crazy. Anyway, so, but I got him in blue. He just brought him out in blue, so I figured I have to have blue. That's my favorite color. So it's going to be orange chassis. It's going to have a red motor, red ESC, and then it's going to have blue servos. So a little bit different, but in my opinion, it doesn't really matter. It's going to look cool no matter what. Everything on it's going to stand out, so it's going to be pretty sick. So everything's top of the line. I saw one guy's going with Vitavon on the RX, on the Trx4m Alumiripper, but I still don't see an advantage to using those parts other than to say that I'm using Vitavon. Now with my Scx6, everything on it pretty much is Vitavon. Matter of fact, that's what we're going to get into next. By the way, the Maz Designs beadlock rings, titanium beadlock rings are freaking cool, aren't they? Pretty cool. So now we're going to transition from Trx4m. We're going to go on to the Scx6. Now I've got a lot of cool shit for the Trx6 or the Scx6. Sorry. One is this is the original fan for the Mamba Monster X8S. Little tiny fan, and they sell kits that you can put bigger fans on it, different fans. But as you know me, I like to do it myself. So what I did was this huge fan. So first off, this base is RPM, made by RPM. It comes with a little switch holder, which is very nice. So that holds the ESC in place, and then I'll bolt this somehow to the chassis, so it's nice and secure. But what I did was, and you can buy a kit with this, but I picked out my own fan and everything. So you go from a 10 millimeter tall fan to a 40 millimeter tall fan. And to do that, all you need is longer screws. So I went on Amazon. I got the fan on Amazon. It was like, I don't know, 20 bucks, 25 bucks. Pretty cheap. And then I can't open these screws, but I got these screws on Amazon for like 6 bucks. I got way too many because you can't buy them, just 4. But you buy this screw. It is a M3 35 millimeter long. M3 35 millimeter. So if you want to do this yourself, all you got to do is go on Amazon, type in M3 35 millimeter hex head screw, and you'll get these. And then you buy a 30 millimeter fan. I guess it is 30 millimeters. 30 millimeter fan, and put your little X on top of it, and it screws right into where it should, and it's perfect. It looks freaking wild, and it costs like 25 bucks. So I don't know. And plus it'll have a lot more cooling. There really is an advantage to it. It's not just for shits and giggles. It's the real deal. So there's that. That's my first upgrade I want to talk about today. Next, I just got these last night. So these are the Vitavon high clearance side plates. So what these are basically like the side steps on a truck, only these are just rock sliders is what you would call them. solid aluminum, CNC, just beautiful. They go on a truck like this so they protect the underside of your body. Pretty cool. Easy install, and it'll add to the look of the outside. Most Vitavon parts are for the inside, so you don't even really get to see most of them. But with these, you'll get to know that there's something a little bit special on the inside. Pretty cool pieces. Vitavon on the end here, 70-75, like all their aluminum. Worth the money. I think a normal set of steps are 80 bucks, and these are 100 bucks. So spend 20 extra bucks, get a nice looking product that's going to protect your body. Which the bodies are $300, so spend 100 bucks, protect it, and then not worry about it ever again. Next up to bat, when you've lived with the Trx4ms for so long, and mind you, I've had big trucks like 1/7 scale and fractions and notorious, but I never really did too much modifications to them, just little things. So doing these big trucks and doing everything is ridiculous. So these are brass portal covers. So I've got portals on both ends of the truck, so I need 4. And look at this thing. This is a solid piece of brass. It's really ridiculous. My portals are brand new, so I really didn't need new bearings, but you know, I'll use them. I'll keep the originals in the original portal ends. But weight wise, when I take one off, I'll compare the weight, but good Lord, these things are crazy. Again, something you won't see, but something that'll definitely make it perform. Putting that extra weight down low. Really cool. Alright, so that's the next upgrade. Okay, so on to my favorite guys. My guys at NSDRC. So I got this winch cable and this winch hook. So you'd say, well, okay, you got the cable and hook. All right, so then we got the Big Daddy winch. And so this winch servo has the same face size as the RS 2500 V2s, but it's a shallow servo, so you don't take up as much room. But this has enough pulling power to pull 2 of these up off the ground. So it's way overkill, but that's what you want. At least that's what I want. I want insane power on my rig, and NSDRC has the products you need to do that. So make sure when you're looking at servos, you go to NSDRC first and look at their prices and their quality and their specs. Don't just buy a servo because it says Endura on it. That's insane. I see all these builds where people are just buying Endura, and there's such better stuff out there at the same price. Maybe a little more, but spend the extra 10 bucks and get the better servo, for Christ's sakes. Anyway, and that's how it is on the Trx4m too. Everybody was running Enduras and all these. They're just trying to find the cheapest thing they can buy to get by. And I get that. And if that's what you're going for, great. But if you're going to be using it, having fun with it, taking it places, you don't want it to break down when you take it somewhere. So buy a little bit better products. Take the time, investigate it. Look at the numbers. If you look at the numbers on the servos, you will not buy anything but NSDRC. I guarantee it, because I look at the numbers. And the numbers say these perform 10 times better than anything out there. And they're just pennies more. So why not? To me, if you're looking at a servo for a Trx4m and you can buy an Endura, excuse me, an Endura that works some of the time and won't last very long, or you can spend $10 more and get an NSDRC that'll last forever and has a warranty, has everything you need, it's faster, it's stronger. Why not? Why the hell not? So, this is my winch. It's going to look badass on there, and I'll show you where it's going right now. So next up, we're going to just talk about the chassis. So first, let's talk about the back half of the chassis. So you can see this is an aluminum chassis. I had to buy it in black because the silver ones are on back order. I do have a silver one ordered. I actually have 2 silver ones ordered. So whenever they show up, they'll get installed. Then I've got these brace pieces by GPM. They are not finished like the Vitavon or the Integi, but they're still silver, so they kind of fit. They're strong, they fit nice, there's no interference. Got the Vitavon bumper, rear bumper. Put the lights in here soon. It's made like a shit brick house, so I mean, it'll last forever. Integi shock mounts. To me, they're just so freaking beautiful. And I also have the Integi upper brace. And this stuff, I mean, this is so solid. I mean, I understand it's got to be solid because this vehicle's going to weigh over 30 pounds, but I mean, it's insane. I mean, I would almost bet, now minus the frame, because these are Chinese made frames and you don't really know what metal is in them. But if I sat this on the ground, you could drive on that with a truck, a real truck, and it would be fine. I guarantee it would be fine. I mean, that's just... If you think about the blocks of aluminum that they use to make these parts, I mean, I can't imagine how much. So that's the back half. Now we'll go to the front half. Sorry, the camera stands in the way. Anyway, so here's the front half. You can see I've got the same aluminum chassis on the front, Integi lower brace, Integi front shock mounts, which are even beefier than the back, by the way. They're just monstrosities. GPM upper brace, Vitavon ESC holder and bracing. I made these myself. I actually bought these universal fit battery trays, and I aligned them and drilled holes and put them in, and I mean, they look pretty sweet on there, I do have to say. The only part missing is I took it off because I'm getting a different one, is the front bumper mount. I had a Integi, but it didn't have the mounts for the winch. So I had to order a Trx4m front bumper mount. And what the bumper mount does is it has 2 holes in the front to hold that big boy on, and then has a servo mount right about there for the winch. So you have your mount, you have your bumper, and you have your winch all together. This has a winch hole which will run through there. So yeah, that's the chassis half of this build. A lot of aluminum and very well made. I'm using the stock fender wells and the stock trays just because I like the look and I do want to have it protect. I don't want mud all over the inside. So then you take these bad boys. I think it might be the wrong side. These get mounted, right? Nope. These get mounted. Holy cow, I can't get this right. So there. That's how these mount on. Couple screws and then you got those. So it'll protect the body and it kind of protects the side of the battery too, just in case. So definitely well worth it and will look sick on there. Alright, so that's where I'm at. So what am I waiting on? So I'm waiting on one servo horn from Vitavon because I did receive one that didn't have all the machining done to it. So they're sending me one that's completely done so I can use it. And after that, I'm waiting on the bumper mount and that's it. So once I receive the bumper mount, I can finish this, mount the winch, all that good stuff, and then I can assemble this to the bottom half, which has a transmission and all that on it. And then we'll put the shocks in, the Vitavon shocks with the Scx6 brass at the bottom. We'll get those installed. And as you know, just like all RC cars or crawlers, there's 4 bolts that hold the chassis to the transmission, and then there's 4 shocks that hold it together. So that's all that holds the top from the bottom, are the 4 shocks and 4 screws. So it should be smooth sailing after I get the horn in to finish the bottom half and the bumper mount to finish the top half, and then we'll see if there's any interference, which there always could be interference, but we'll see. The big question I have is, since I'm doing on axle servos, how much interference that's going to cause, and we'll see. And if it causes interference, then we're going to have to figure out a whole new strategy, which might mean going to a cage body chassis instead of having a truck body. So I hope it doesn't come to that, but we will see. It's just a concern I have. I don't have any evidence to back it up that that's going to be the issue, but you just never know. Speaking of that servo horn, I just wanted to show you. So inside that servo horn, there's supposed to be grooves that go onto the gear, the servo gear. This one has 0. So that machining process didn't happen to this horn, and it's created a delay in my project. So once it gets here, we'll be able to get this mostly up and running. Next up, I got the Castle B-Link. This allows me to connect the Mamba Monster X8S to my phone, and I can adjust it on the fly, set it up properly for this motor for the Three Brothers. And that'll help the performance a lot. A couple other things I got some extensions for my servos on the Scx6. Don't know if I'm going to need that many. I doubt it. What else do I have? I think I showed you this already. The big light. That's a roof light. And then I got a light on my bumper. And plus it has headlights, fog lights, front and rear lights. It's got lights all over it, so it'll be pretty showy. What else do I have over here? I think that's pretty much it. Yep. Pretty much it. So, that's it for the updates today. Hopefully later this week we'll have a video of fixing the Trx4m, getting it back up and running, and then hopefully get a video of getting the upper and lower parts finished on the Scx6. And then a few days after that, I'll do the joining of those, and we'll see how it looks. So exciting times here at the Pistorano Show. So pretty excited about what we got going on. There's also a big show in Kentucky for all crawlers, and I'm thinking about going down there, taking the Trx4m and taking the Scx6, but we'll see. Since I'm gonna have two of both now, it'd be pretty cool at a show, crawling with one and the other being a showpiece. So I don't know, we'll see. You know, I'm not my disability kind of hurts me and things like that, because I can't walk very far. So I don't know. I've yet to buy a wheelchair or one of those jazzy things, but at some point I might need to do that just so I can get out more. I mean, most of the time when I leave the house, we're just going to go out to eat, something like that, but I wouldn't mind, I don't know, driving around a hobby store or something. Anyway, enough about me. I hope you enjoyed the show today, and one more thing. So, since my son and I are doing crawling, a lot of crawling, we decided to get some markers. So we've got all the markers we need to build one heck of a line on a track. So the next time we go out to the wall, we will be setting these up and we're going to treat it like a real competition. And I'm going to wipe him straight out the face of the earth. He's going to go down. Probably not the case, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to trash talk the hell out of it. Although we are going to do a video soon on his truck. he's put a lot of work into his truck, and he's grassroots style. He's not go buy all the coolest shit and put it in a truck. He just makes whatever he wants. And I have to say that's from him learning from me throughout his life. Not taking credit for it, because he does have an artistic side that I don't. But it's pretty cool seeing what he's done with his truck. So we're gonna have some crawling videos on it, and then we're gonna have a video where either I or he goes through everything he's done to it, just to show you guys that you can go cheap if you have an imagination. So he doesn't have an NSDRC servo, and he has servo issues. He bought a Furatech system, which has done great for him. He does need to get an NSDRC servo so that his truck's more reliable. We were talking about that just the other day. But he's made his own body. He's made his own brass chassis. Yeah, he made his own brass chassis. It's freaking killer looking. He's still got plastic axles and all that. He's got some brass on it. But he's not invested a ton of money into it. And it's looks cool. It drives good. It will be better once he gets that servo. But anyway, so look forward to that in the future. I think those will be fun videos. But coming this Saturday, we should have some crawling videos that I'll post probably Monday. And we'll see how that goes. See if I can kick his ass or not. I mean, like I've always said, he's a better driver, but I got the better rig. And they kind of even out. Although, especially since I made the changes I just made, it's going to be pretty rough for him to beat me. I don't think he's got it in him, but we will see. Problem is when he upgrades the servo and a couple other little things, he's going to whip my ass every time. So I better not be running my mouth too much. So anyway, I hope you all have a great week. I'll be doing another video probably in a couple days, so look out for that. And remember, if we ever hit 500 subscribers, I'm going to give away a Trx4m, maybe even a high trail if I can find one. So keep that in mind, guys. A lot of good stuff going on in here, so I'd appreciate it if you shared it, let people know. Subscribe if you possibly can. I don't put out videos every day, so it's not going to be annoying like some of those other places you subscribe to. And all my videos are RC based right now, Trx4m and Scx6, from small to big. But other than that, have a great day. Have a great week. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to you guys' comments on how you think this show went. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.